Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Emo Nightly News, every moment online. Thank you for being with us this evening. In tonight's news headlines, Peebush reggae song artist Dread Eye to release 2 new singles this month. Barbados moves to make payday a legal obligation on the new wages bill. St. Lucia Carnival 2026 ends on a high note. France approves social media ban for children under 15. And Dominica selects 2 representatives for World Under-20 Athletics Championships. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is a news broadcast for the 22nd of July, 2026. In local news this evening, the Ministry of Agriculture is continuing efforts to strengthen Dominica's agricultural sector through support for farmers and increased root crop production. Building on recommendations from the OECS Root Crop Symposium, the ministry is promoting best farming practices and boosting dashing production to ensure a sustainable supply for local and regional markets. Meanwhile, rehabilitation is progressing at the Grand Savannah Salisbury farm of Olivia Benjamin Vidal following a devastating bushfire, with support from the Chinese Agricultural Technical Mission and the Division of Agriculture. Normal production is expected to resume by the end of the year. The ministry says these initiatives reflect its commitment to building a resilient agricultural sector, strengthening food security, and supporting farmers across Dominica. Peebush native and reggae song artist Dread Eye is set to release 2 songs from his 14th studio album this month end. Dread Eye says that his music is positive and encouraging.
Yeah, when you talk about Dread Eye's music, it's all about inspiration, meditation, good vibration, and it's something that I would always say if you are weak, mentally, spiritually, is the vibes you can rest upon, So Dread Eye music is all about life, levity, strong vibes. Check it out.
Dread Eye also stated some of his influences.
Yeah, I've been convicted by the great icons of reggae. So inspiration start with what you are being fed upon. So I think I would say inspirational musically, the great icons. And if you tell me, Dread Eye, what about your mother and your father? Like people know my mother and my father, I think, very well from Peebush. So there has been an inspiration. And I would love to say they are not living now, but I am very thankful about what they digest into Dread Eye. That's why I am what I am with such an inspiration. So I'm sharing it in the music,
Dread Eye says that he would love to perform at the World Creole Music Festival, as he also has Creole music in his repertoire.
Well, Dominicans, every time I watch the artists and them performing on the big stage, something crawling inside of the eye, longing to see myself performing on the big stage. And I think I am ready for that. So I would just love to tell Dominicans, make some noise on behalf of Dread Eye. Make sure that Dread Eye is name appearing in the program for the Creole Fest, because I got a Creole song, big song, Teta Sam. You heard the song Teta Sam. So, I want to make sure at least I could do something culturally. This is your cadence. That's what I grew up on. So I'm aware of that. So I'm bringing it, even when I do in the reggae, I still respect it every time.
Dread-Eye has been making music for about 30 years and can be found on Spotify or on his website at www.dreadeye-productions.com, on YouTube at Dread-Eye Productions, and Facebook at Dread-Eye Rhythm Force.
You see in the light, my mind is for you day and night, thinking about the bits and pieces, everything will be alright. Together, life starts from within. The pieces of the puzzle will fit in like the wind and the rain on the fence, like the wind and the rain on the fence. Friendship is good. Friendship is precious. Dominica to us. Yes,
The National Combined School Choir of St. Lucia arrived on island today and went to work right away, serenading various institutions with their harmonious songs. The National Combined School Choir will host a concert on Saturday, 25th of July at the auditorium of the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. Tickets are being sold at Jay's Bookstore. The choir will celebrate Mass at the Kulibistri Catholic Church on Sunday as part of the church's feast celebration. We welcome the National Combined School Choir and look forward to enjoying their sound during their stay here. Dominica is set to establish a dedicated government department led by persons with disabilities to better serve the needs of the disability community. This is one of the outcomes of a recent meeting between the Executive Board of the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, DAPD, and the Prime Minister of Dominica, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. President of the DAPD, Judy Sango, spoke with EmoNews about the recent discussions with the Prime Minister.
The association also raised concerns regarding the language that we use and the changes made following the 2022 general elections. The disability community prefers people first language. At the time, the ministry responsible for persons with disabilities was replaced with a minister of state within the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services, with a portfolio entitled Differently Abled. In response, the Honorable Prime Minister acknowledged his concerns and gave his assurance that this arrangement would be addressed by the end of July 2026. The DAPD views this commitment as another positive outcome of the meeting.
Sango outlined another major issue discussed and the Prime Minister's promise to look into it with urgency.
The meeting also included discussions on the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, UNCRPD, which Dominica ratified on October 1st, 2012. While this ratification represented an important commitment in upholding the rights of persons with disabilities, the association highlighted that there is currently no comprehensive national legislation specifically giving effect to these rights. The Honorable Prime Minister expressed his support for the development of such legislation and indicated that the government will begin working towards this as soon as possible. The DAPD welcomes these encouraging commitments and looks forward to continued collaboration with the government of Dominica.
In regional news, the Barbados government has introduced legislation requiring employers to pay workers on their scheduled payday, strengthening protections for employees' wages. Speaking in Parliament, Prime Minister Mia Mottley said wages are essential and should never be treated as optional by employers. The proposed law would require regular pay periods, limit unlawful wage deductions, and require written consent for most deductions. It would also make charging interest on wage advances a criminal offense. If passed, the Protection of Wages Bill will strengthen workers' rights by ensuring timely payment and greater transparency in how wages are managed. St. Lucia Carnival 2026 came to a vibrant close on Tuesday as thousands of revelers and spectators filled the streets for the highly anticipated parade of the bands, bringing an unforgettable end to the island's biggest cultural celebration. Over 2 exciting days, masqueraders showcased dazzling costumes, energetic dance routines, and infectious music as they parade through the streets in a spectacular display of creativity and Caribbean culture. Day 1 featured an explosion of colorful costumes and themed band presentations, while Day 2 saw revelers take to the road in vibrant swimwear and other festive attire, creating the signature atmosphere that has become synonymous with Lucian Carnival. The final day of festivities offered one last opportunity for locals and visitors alike to immerse themselves in the rhythm, energy, and spirit of the annual celebration, with music, trucks, steel pan, soca hits, and thousands of masqueraders keeping the excitement alive from start to finish. As the curtains close on St. Lucia Carnival 2026, organizers, participants, and visitors are celebrating another successful festival that showcased the island's rich culture, creativity, and tourism appeal. EmoNews was on the ground throughout the festivities, bringing viewers live coverage and highlights from one of the Caribbean's premier carnival celebrations. The St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Services has successfully concluded its annual summer safety program with a colorful march and parade through the streets of Basseterre. Nearly 100 children from across St. Kitts participated in the program, which equipped them with essential life skills through a series of interactive and educational sessions. Campers received training in fire safety, first aid, water safety, traffic safety, disaster preparedness, mental health, and crime and violence prevention, helping them develop the knowledge and confidence to make safe and responsible choices. The program culminated in a celebratory parade where participants proudly marched alongside firefighters through the capital, demonstrating the discipline, teamwork, and skills they gained during the camp. The annual initiative continues to play an important role in promoting safety awareness and empowering young people to become responsible members of their communities. The United States and Saudi Arabia are expected to announce a landmark agreement allowing the kingdom to develop a civilian nuclear program. According to reports, the deal, expected to be unveiled by the Trump administration, would allow Saudi Arabia to study the possibility of enriching uranium domestically in the U.S.-built facility to fuel nuclear power plants. The agreement, which could be worth billions of dollars to American companies, has raised concerns among nuclear experts and some Israeli officials, who warn it could eventually give Saudi Arabia the capability to develop nuclear weapons. The proposal will now go before the U.S. Congress, where it is expected to face scrutiny. Reports also indicate the agreement is not linked to Saudi Arabia establishing diplomatic ties with Israel. French lawmakers have approved landmark legislation that would ban children under the age of 15 from accessing social media and prohibit cell phones in secondary schools. The bill, the first of its kind in the European Union, now awaits a ruling from France's Constitutional Council. If approved, the measures will take effect in September 2026. President Emmanuel Macron welcomed the legislation, calling it a major step toward protecting children and teenagers. However, some opposition lawmakers have questioned whether the ban is constitutional and whether it can be effectively enforced. The move follows a growing international trend, with countries including Australia introducing similar restrictions aimed at limiting children's access to social media.
Coming up on the outside.
Sit down, my girl. Sit down.
Pina coming up on the outside.
Look it. No.
Welcome to the sports segment. The Dominica Olympic Committee is recognizing the Dominica Chess Federation on International Chess Day for its continued efforts to develop young people through the game of chess. The committee says the federation's initiatives promote critical thinking, discipline, patience, and strategic decision-making, while helping to prepare the nation's future leaders. It also encouraged the Federation to continue expanding opportunities for youth participation across Dominica. The Dominica Olympic Committee has congratulated its operations assistant, Venant Joseph, on its appointment as the Caribbean Football Union CFU match official. The committee says the appointment reflects Joseph's professionalism, dedication, and commitment to excellence in both his role with the organization and as a football referee. It also noted that his achievement provides an opportunity to represent Dominica at the regional level. The Dominica Olympic Committee expressed pride in Joseph's accomplishment and wished him continued success as he takes on future CFU and international officiating assignments. Dominica has named a two-member team for the World Athletics Under-20 Championships set for Eugene, Oregon, from August 4th to 9th. The team will be led by coach Godwin Dorset and features sprinter Corel Etienne, who will compete in the women's 100 meters, and Addison James, who will represent Dominica in the men's javelin. Ahead of the championships, the athletes will participate in a high-performance training camp in Eugene from the 22nd of July to the 2nd of August, alongside teams from Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados to sharpen their preparation for the global competition. The Dominica Amateur Athletics Association has wished the team every success as they prepare to represent the Nature Isle on the world stage. And that's all for the sports segment this evening. Stay tuned for the weather report coming up next.
Welcome to the weather broadcast for today, Wednesday, the 22nd of July, 2026. From our studios in Jimmy, I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. As we take a look at our surface chat analysis with Dominica here in the green circle, we are looking at two tropical waves in the Atlantic Ocean. We have this wave here, which is located about 750 miles to the east of the Lesser Antilles, and the second wave here located about 1,650 miles to the east of the Lesser Antilles. These waves are moving westwards towards the islands, and this first wave here is expected to approach the area sometime by late Thursday into Friday, with the second wave here expected to approach by Saturday and into Sunday. So we are monitoring these two waves with no chance of development at this time. Now taking a look at some satellite imagery. Here we have again this tropical wave, so we can see the cloudiness associated with these two tropical waves here. This is the first area of cloudiness associated with that first wave, and this second area of cloudiness associated with that second tropical wave. Here we can see the movement as it continues to move towards the Lesser Antilles. Now taking a closer look, closer to home, we are looking at an area of cloudiness, some patches of cloudiness which moved across Dominica today. This resulted in generally fair to partly cloudy skies. Now taking a look at earlier radar imagery, here we can see limited showers or no shower activity over Dominica during today. However, some pockets of isolated showers were observed off to the northeast over the Atlantic Ocean. Now taking a look at the Saharan dust. So again, you can see a fluctuation in Saharan dust concentration across the area of Dominica here in the green circle, with Saharan dust increasing again and decreasing with the presence of that tropical wave. So we are seeing some fluctuation in Saharan dust concentration, but we're advising people with respiratory sensitivities to be on alert and to exercise caution to avoid complications. Now this Saharan dust is expected to interact with moisture from that tropical wave. Now tonight's weather is expected to be fair to occasionally cloudy and slightly hazy, with a few isolated showers, with temperatures expected to be down to 25 degrees Celsius on the coast and 24 degrees Celsius in the interior. Winds expected to be light, coming generally from the east at about 30 kilometers per hour. And for the next 3 days beginning tomorrow, fair to partly cloudy skies and slightly hazy conditions can be expected tomorrow, with conditions increasing to partly cloudy to cloudy on Friday and on Saturday as well. So we expect to see an increase in moisture levels beginning by late Thursday into Friday and Saturday due to the approach of these tropical waves. Temperatures are expected to be up to 33 degrees Celsius tomorrow Thursday and down to 32 degrees Celsius on Friday and Saturday. Winds expected to increase on Friday as well, peaking to 40 kilometers per hour, with seas remaining near 5 feet, and that is slight to moderate near 5 feet throughout the 3-day period. Again, we are expecting to see an increase in moisture levels due to the approach of that tropical wave on Friday and Saturday. However, we are also expected to see the interaction of Saharan dust with those tropical waves, reducing moisture levels. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:45 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:39 p.m. High tide tomorrow will be at 12:27 p.m. and 10:54 p.m. and low tide will be at 5:41 a.m. and 4:20 p.m. Again, scan our QR code, follow us on our WhatsApp channel here, and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Dominica Met, and also visit our website at www.weather.gov.dm. Thank you for joining me. See you next time. Stay safe.
And this concludes tonight's news broadcast for the 22nd of July 2026. I'm your news presenter, Rick Francis. On behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This is EmoNightly News, every moment online. Have a good night.